It's day 9 of the Breda murder trial at the Western Cape High Court. 2 state witnesses took the stand this morning, the first being Andre Breda, the older brother of Martin Breda, who also has a twin. He started off by going into their sort of childhood and family background, saying they were a close-knit family, very close-knit group of brothers, and that Martin was successful from a very young age, eventually getting his MBA in Pretoria, was offered an engineering job, and then went on to start his own very successful business. He then went into further detail about the last time he saw his brother, which was 2 weeks prior to the murders, and that nothing was wrong. He also said that he'd stayed with the Breda family when Henry was 10, and that he always enjoyed his time with them, that they were very close and there were never really any issues. He then went into a bit more detail about the visits to the Breda household after the murders, 2 occasions when Henry accompanied them, as did Marley, who had been released from hospital and wanted to collect some of her belongings. He said that it seemed that everything was in place, no valuables had been taken. They were eventually obviously packed up and shipped out, which he signed off on, including cash. Henry apparently stayed in the car on one of the visits, and on one of the visits didn't want to go inside the house, but pointed out what expensive whiskies and wines he wanted, as the father Martin was a huge fan of red wine. Precious Munyongani, the Breda's domestic worker at the time, took the witness stand before lunch, and she started off her testimony by explaining how she would get into the estate with an access card and then would take a taxi to the Breda's house through a side gate, which where a key on a string was always available, and then got into the house through the back door, which was generally always open, and times when it wasn't, she would phone. She worked there 3 days a week. She worked on the 26th, the day before the murders, and she said that she didn't notice anything unusual. She cleaned 2 of the 3 upstairs bathrooms. The third belonging to Henry, she didn't get around to cleaning because she had run out of time. She also confirmed that there was a family dog that had usually stayed with Henry. Then the state asked about the murder weapons found on the scene, which she had initially identified from police photographs when she took her initial statement, which was only then read back to her, by the way, today. She said, yes, this is the same axe. It usually lives in the scullery on a shelf, and this knife usually lives in the top drawer, which she identified in the photograph. This top drawer was open. Then, under cross-examination by the defense, they obviously were trying to cast doubt on whether or not this was the same axe, or if she's just seen one like it before. Then Judge Desai interjecting, saying that this line of questioning is potentially torturous and unnecessary.